For me, it's about the law and people. I just need facts, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Just facts. And how people can resolve their problems and just be better for it.
Justice with passion.
I always knew I was going to go into law because I tried to see everybody's point of view in an argument. And I encouraged people to talk to each other to try to resolve their problems.
Justice with truth.
Do not waste your time and do not waste mine.
This is Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. Jasmine Little is suing Mike and Anthony Franklin in the amount of $5,060. Ms. Little claims her wrist was broken when the bar owner's drunk nephew made her fall and says they are both responsible for her injury.
Okay, Miss Little, you are suing Mr. Franklin, Anthony Franklin, and Mike Franklin. Is that correct? For $5,060 because you got drunk.
No.
You didn't get drunk?
I had a few drinks that evening, but I was not
so
drunk.
you got drunk?
She got drunk.
She was drunk,
I was
Your
not
Honor.
drunk.
Drunk?
She was drunk.
3 drinks is nowhere near drunk.
Well, you never know. Sometimes one drink makes me a little loopy, so you just don't know.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's been a long night. I'll explain the full story, but I
go
was
ahead.
not drunk.
I'm eager to hear.
So the story really all begins when a few girlfriends mentioned there was a local party happening. It was a holiday event at this bar.
What bar?
So the bar that Mr. Franklin owns.
Which Mr. Franklin?
Me.
The older Mr.
You had to think
Franklin.
about that? Okay. So, Mr. Franklin, Mr. Mike Franklin?
Mike Franklin, yes, Your Honor.
What type of bar do you own? Tell me about it.
Yes. The name of my bar is Someplace Else because I want my people to come in and feel like they have been transported someplace else. So it's a neighborhood-friendly
Catchy.
bar, small plates, you know, different types of music to cater to all demographics. So it's a really good, wholesome, good time.
Okay.
With stiff drinks, the best margaritas on this side of the East Coast.
Amazing.
Okay, all right. And then you, Mr. Franklin, are his
I'm his nephew.
Nephew, okay. So then, Miss Little, you went to the Franklin bar. What's it called again?
Someplace Else.
You went to someplace else. And what happened?
I'm there with a group of girls. He says, okay, I'm going to give you ladies some shots. It's going to be a fun night for you all.
Okay.
I'm excited. I'm like, wow, that's so generous of you. So he pours the shots. We all take it. We get dancing. We're having a good time. Okay? The night starts to take a turn when Mr. Franklin's nephew, Anthony, starts harassing me.
Harassing.
So he comes up to me. He starts kind of just saying some odd things.
Like what?
I wouldn't even say inappropriate, but just he's making kind of weird jokes. Like he's just saying things that are nonsensical, right? Like someone who's been drinking, they're kind
So
of,
he was trying to pick you up and he had a horrible bedside manner?
perhaps, you could explain it that way.
Fair enough, Your Honor.
Okay.
But I think, you know, it was just a little more inappropriate than I would have liked to see. He was just acting strange. It was
Okay.
odd. He comes up to me saying nonsensical things. I kind of just brush it off. I say, all right, I'm just going to do my own thing. But that's when Mr. Franklin comes and he intervenes. So he says, you know, why don't you leave the girls alone? They're trying to have their moment. Why don't you come with me? We'll do something else.
Why did you do that, Mr. Mike Franklin?
Okay. I had saw them, you know, interacting and stumbling all over each other. And like she said, I poured them drinks. You know, it's holiday spirit. He came over trying to holler at her. He's a ladies' man.
So
He
you
came-
poured them one shot?
I poured them one shot, her and her friends.
Okay, all
One
right.
shot
And
only.
that was the first drink they had for the night?
That was the first drink they had
Okay,
for the night.
all right, 3 round on the house. Okay.
Exactly,
So
so-
you intervened because you thought Anthony was maybe being a little pushy?
Well, he tried to hit on her at the bar. Told her a joke. It didn't land well. And then they went off to start dancing. But I did warn her that he was a little bit rowdy, but he was a good kid.
Okay, so what happened after that?
We're moving on. I'm dancing. I'm having a great time. At this point, I'm dancing with the girls. We're feeling good.
Did you
The
have
night's
another
going
drink
on.
after that initial shot?
I did, but
How many?
you know, just one more at this point.
So then you had another shot?
Yes.
Yes.
She did.
Okay, what kind of shots were they? Vodka, tequila?
It was Patron, Your Honor.
Okay, so you had 2 tequila shots.
2 tequila shots.
And how much do you weigh?
125.
You're a tiny little girl, you don't ever drink, and you have 2. Did you eat dinner before you go out
I
there?
did, Your Honor. And it's not that I don't ever drink. It's just
I
that I'm not
understand, but it doesn't
a huge
matter.
party
Tequila
person.
gets you the wrong way when you're just not there, right?
can, it
Okay,
can.
2 tequila shots, a tiny little girl. Yeah, you kind of ate, you're having fun. Okay, so then what happens after the second tequila shot?
So I'm still dancing, still having fun. But then I notice Mr. Franklin's nephew yet again. And I'm like, why is this man around?
He thinks you're hot.
Maybe,
I mean, what a
but,
compliment.
you know, it's
You
just,
get
it's,
it.
I'm not there for that.
Look at her.
That was the point
Okay,
of the
but did you
night.
tell him, hey, listen, you're really cool, but you're not my type? Back off.
You know, I did not explicitly say
did not
those
say that.
words, but I figured he would get the point eventually.
Sometimes it's good to be blunt.
Yeah.
It's true. And in hindsight,
That part.
I could have been more blunt. I'll admit that. So anyway, he comes up to me yet again. At this point, Your Honor, I'm kind of just
It's like
trying
a soap
to stay
opera.
on my own. He's kind of behind me. I don't even know how this happened, but at some point we ended up under mistletoe, and I'm like, it's a holiday party, fine, there's decorations, whatever, but why are we under mistletoe? He looks at me like, oh, well, maybe something could happen. Like, he's giving me faces, giving me eyes, and I'm like, how did I even get over here with you? I was just trying to politely engage a little bit of dancing with you and just move on.
Oh, so you actually danced with him?
A little bit, Your Honor.
She smiled at me too, Your Honor.
I was trying to be polite,
Under the mistletoe.
Under the mistletoe.
Okay.
but I did not say that I wanted to kiss you.
Coming up on Justice for All.
You combined tequila with another hard alcohol?
No, it was a mixed drink, but it was tequila. So I didn't have the shot at once. I had the drink over a little bit of time. And this was later in the night, too.
And you don't drink that much?
Not every day.
Yeah.
I do not have alcoholism.
Closed captioning provided by. If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. We're back with the case of Jasmine Little, who is suing Mike and Anthony Franklin for medical expenses.
So then what happened under the mistletoe? Hurry, I need to understand.
Nothing happened under the mistletoe.
Okay.
We moved on, but then, you know, he was so drunk. He
Okay.
was so drunk. He was stumbling, and as we were dancing, he kind of starts tugging on me, and we fall into each other. Your Honor, it was so embarrassing. We're in this crowded bar. My girls are watching. I'm like, why is this man so clumsy, so drunk, trying to dance with me? I'm mortified. So at this point, I'm like, all right, you know, I think I need to just do my own thing. Mr. Franklin comes over again. So this is time number 2 now that he has to intervene because his nephew is sloppy.
So is the nephew drunk out of his mind, or he's just a little?
He was just a little buzzed, Your Honor. I looked at
oh.
them. They looked. They was either flirting, they were dropping it, having a good time. It's the boy. Everybody's the music's vibing and all that. So
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure she was okay. So that's why I stepped
Got
in.
it.
She
Because
said
you
that she
know
was
he's
fine.
kind of like an obnoxious ladies' man.
Exactly.
Sorry, Anthony, but it
Exactly.
seems like that's the picture that's being painted. So I'm going to go with that.
Okay.
So you liked her, and you were being
an edgy gentleman. I
okay, I get it.
But also,
So-
how much did you
so-
drink that night?
had 2 shots.
That's all you had the whole night.
Well, that's all you had.
Yeah.
So let's
That's not all he had.
continue. How do you know? Were you watching? Did you think he was secretly cute that you were watching everything he was doing?
I was
She
not
definitely
watching
liked me, Your
everything that he was doing, but he was always popping up near me.
So
if you
well,
see
then,
someone,
then how did you know how much he was drinking?
so if I see someone who's slurring
Because
and
there,
sloppy,
you know, then if you're alleging a very serious thing, because
Absolutely.
bar owners, and especially in your state,
Yes.
are responsible if they keep giving drinks
Yes.
to clearly intoxicated people, they could be held liable for anything that happens to them.
Correct.
So obviously now this is taking a really serious turn. It's no longer a soap opera. You're kind of accusing Mr. Mike Franklin of violating the law.
Your Honor, I think that my friends who were there that night and the other people at the bar would agree with me.
Okay, did you bring any of your friends or any letters so I could take that into consideration?
I did not bring them with me today, Your Honor.
Okay, so then I can't take that into consideration. All right, so Mr. Franklin, you know the severity of the Dram shop rule, right?
Yes.
You know that if you clearly give an intoxicated person more drinks, you know that they're intoxicated, you can lose your license, you can be sued, liability, even criminally you could be sued.
Exactly. I've been in business for 10 years. That is something that I have not and will not do.
So, under oath, because I know Cinder swore you in today, was your nephew Anthony intoxicated that you kept feeding him drinks?
No, he had 2 shots before because he came and helped me set up for the party. He always does that. We have a really great bond.
Absolutely.
After I separated them, he asked for 1 more shot, and I told him, you can have a beer, and that is it. So he
Okay.
was served no more alcohol for the remainder of
So
the night.
2 shots, a beer,
That's
big
it.
guy, he was not drunk.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. And so then what happened when you're under the mistletoe, Anthony?
Nothing, actually. So it was kind of awkward, but I just felt bad, which is why I went over there to begin with, because I tried to be a little unconventional with my approach. Sure, I saw the plaintiff, had a nice smile. She was very attractive.
Beautiful, yeah.
Of course, you see it, right?
Oh, yeah, of
so
course.
I thought she was attractive, but instead of just a typical line, I told her a very horrible dad joke. Didn't quite go the way that I wanted it to.
Okay, so then she thought you were creepy.
So
That's
then,
what it was.
exactly, she thought I was. I went for a laugh and I got the silence. It just didn't work well. So, yeah, I mean, ultimately, nothing happened at that point.
Okay, so then how did she get injured?
So,
Because she's suing you both. How did she fall?
so we were dancing and she was reluctant, but she was a little bit more open-minded, and we were dancing. And I kind of hit her with a twirl while we were dancing. And as I hit her with the twirl, next thing we know, maybe it was we both maybe had a couple shots or whatever we talked about. I hit her with the twirl, and the next thing I know, she fell. So
Did she have high heels on?
she did, yeah.
Super high heels or just normal high heels?
Maybe 2-3 inches.
They look like more 4 inches
4
to me.
inches?
Yeah.
I always have high heels on.
Okay.
Look at me now.
Okay, I wear high heels too, and sometimes when I have 2 glasses of wine and I haven't eaten or something, sometimes it's hard to walk in high heels. I mean, so then you were twirling around, you're a big guy, you're twirling around dancing, she's a tiny little beautiful thing on 4-inch heels, and what, she loses her balance and falls?
Yep. She loses her balance and she falls.
And what happens? And you break what?
I'm just gonna say that's
What
not.
happened? What happened?
that's
Did
not
you
what
break your
happened.
wrist? Was it that day?
I broke my wrist.
Okay, all right. So
that's
what
not the
happened?
right
Were you
story.
not dancing and trolling and you fell on your 4-inch heels?
I was, but I need to preface it by saying, first off, what you said earlier was not true. Every time I looked at this guy, he had a different drink in his hand. So it was definitely not 2 shots and a beer. One time you have a Heineken in your hand, then you have a Corona. It was a different brand every time. It's like you had way more than that to
Your
drink
Honor,
that
how
night,
could she
first
see
off.
me from across the bar and how
Because
many
you
drinks
were-
did I
She was
have?
really
were
trying to
always near me.
secretly check you
I
out.
think so.
That
I think so.
part.
She was a big deal. I was a big deal, so I get it.
Okay,
But-
so how many drinks total did you have, Miss Little?
So I had 3 at this point.
3 shots?
I had 2 shots and 1 mixed drink.
You combined tequila with another hard alcohol?
No, it was a mixed drink, but it was tequila. So I didn't have the shot at once. I had the drink
Oh,
over a little
got
bit
it,
of
got it.
time. And this
Okay.
was later in the night too.
And you don't drink that much?
Not every day. I do not have alcoholism. No.
Oh, no, I'm not accusing you of that. If you can control it and you understand that why you're doing it, and that's fine.
Coming up on Justice for All.
But he was very forceful, Your Honor.
Very
He was
forceful.
spinning, and he was so much drunker than I was. It was clear to me he was stumbling around, and before I knew it, I'm falling to the ground. I'm trying to brace my fall, and I fall and land on my wrist.
Closed captioning provided by. You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. We're back with the case of Jasmine Little, who is suing Mike and Anthony Franklin for medical expenses.
Your Honor, can I add something if you don't mind?
Very quickly, yes.
When she fell and I was originally there, my first reaction was to try to help her up. So my first thing was, oh my goodness, are you okay? And Miss Little specifically said to me at that time, other than me being mad, I'm okay, I'm fine.
Okay.
So
And
let
I
me-
even asked him,
So can I
'cause I
fully
was
explain my
concerned.
side of the story?
Okay, so
the
then
last
you
encounter?
fell because you were twirling.
So this is the 3rd encounter now that we're having where he's come up to me. I'm initially in a circle with my girls. We're dancing, having a great time. I feel this tug behind me on my arm. I turn around. I realize it's him because at first I don't even know what's going on. I realize it's him. He starts kind of getting me to dance, move around a little bit. I'm again being polite, right? I'm 5'4". I don't know this strange man. I'm in a bar. I just want him to eventually
you say,
leave me alone.
No,
I hear you.
Leave me alone. So that means you were enjoying the attention. You can't go back and say I wasn't enjoying the attention because clearly you should have said, hey dude, back off.
That part.
Your Honor,
I'm not interested.
That
So
part.
you decided to take his hand and you danced with him a little bit?
Your Honor, in the moment, it's hard to do that.
Especially
as a woman,
after 2 tequila shots and a
And as
mixed
a woman,
drink.
you never know what a man's going to do. Some men get angry, some get vengeful.
No, not if you do it politely and
It's
when
a-
you're with your girlfriends, you say, hey, listen, thank you so much, but I'm hanging out with my girls. I don't feel like dancing. At least you're honest. I mean, most normal, reasonable men are going to say, I get it. Okay, I'm going to back off. All
And
right.
look at his face.
All right.
I can
he looks
respect that.
homeless. He's
I can
tall,
respect
but he looks
All right,
homeless.
so we just really need to get to the point. So, let's just tell me what happened. He grabbed you, you danced.
He's spinning me around. He's very forceful. He's
Were you
much bigger than
laughing,
me.
enjoying it?
I don't don't think that I was laughing. I mean, maybe a
She was
smile.
smiling.
I was dancing with him, I will admit,
She was
somewhat.
smiling.
But he was very forceful, Your Honor.
Very
He was
forceful.
spinning. I mean, he was so much drunker than I was. It was clear to me he was stumbling around. And before I knew it, I'm falling to the ground. I'm trying to brace my fall. And I fall and land on my wrist.
Coming up,
I don't have evidence to the contrary to make me just say you guys danced and you were having fun and being foolish because you were buzzed.
closed captioning provided by. You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. We're back with the case of Jasmine Little, who is suing Mike and Anthony Franklin for medical expenses.
So why are Mr. Mike Franklin and Anthony Franklin responsible for your fall?
Well, first off, I'm going to say that Mr. Mike Franklin is a part of the problem because he kept feeding his nephew drinks that night.
That's not
Okay,
true.
I don't have any evidence
That's
of
right. That's not true.
that. And you didn't bring me any evidence of that. So
That's fair, Your Honor.
I don't have evidence of that. What's the legal claim? You are suing him saying they're responsible for my fall because he's the bar owner.
Yes.
And he made you fall. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, so my point is here that even if he was not drunk, which is kind of the basis we're going off of now, he pulled my arm, he twisted me in a circle, and he's the reason why I fell down to the ground.
That's how you do a twirl.
So it has nothing to do with you drinking.
I mean, how are we going to prove that I had that much to drink that night if we're not
You
going to
just
prove
told
that
me
he
that
had that
you
much to
drank
drink that
Exactly.
night?
And I poured your first
So then
shot.
should I not
Top
believe you
shelf.
then? You told me you had two
Exactly.
tequila shots and one mixed drink.
And how is 3 drinks enough to make me drunk?
How is it not enough to not make you drunk? I don't have anything otherwise. So, like, if you drink too much, are you not responsible for your actions? If we go on the premise that you were not drunk because you're a smart woman, this wouldn't have happened.
That part.
But why are we going off of that premise?
So you don't want me to say you're smart?
I'm very smart, but this could have happened sober.
Okay.
I could have easily still felt threatened by this man who's much taller and bigger than I am.
Miss Little, I wasn't born yesterday. It's a great story. I mean, this is really developing into a really good plot. I have no evidence that they did anything wrong, that he was over drinking, no police was called, your girlfriends didn't come here to testify on your behalf. I don't have evidence to the contrary to make me just say you guys danced and you were having fun and being foolish because you were buzzed.
Judge Perez's verdict when Justice for All returns. Promotional consideration provided by.
Honestly, Ms. Little, I think both of you lack judgment. Both of you. Mr. Franklin, I'm not quite sure why you are here.
I'm wondering
Maybe
the
because you
same
have the
thing.
deep pockets.
Yeah.
It's your bar.
And it's your bar, but you didn't do anything to cause these two to talk and have fun and dance. Just because you're related doesn't mean he's responsible as the bar owner, right? It just really is a lesson. I have no proof that she fell. This, to me, was just like a drunken accident between two people who didn't know how to handle their liquor.
Exactly.
Okay, and it's a good lesson for you, Anthony. You're not going to catch a girl doing this kind of stuff. Based on the evidence, I will deny your claim for $5,060. Good luck.
All rise.
Judge Perez has ruled in favor of the co-defendants. The plaintiff's claim has been denied.
People come to my bar to have a good time. I think she needs to take accountability to know how much her body can handle, or maybe she should just say no.
I'm not feeling great about the decision today. I feel like justice was not served.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.